All right, happy Friday, everybody. Happy start to the second half of the season. We've got a lot of great storylines to get into over the next few months, including the Detroit Pistons. We're really damn good. The Pistons beat the Knicks on Thursday night. They have the best record in the NBA. They're the real deal. Not just a favorite to win the Eastern Conference, but a team that physical, with that type of talent, especially with Cade Cunningham, you can beat anybody, including a banged-up version of whoever comes out of these Western Conference playoffs. But in this video, I want to talk about a lingering issue from the first half of the season, and that is the issue of tanking. Adam Silver addressed the rampant tanking at his All-Star Weekend press conference, acknowledging that it is worse than it has ever been before. You have nearly a third of the league's teams that are showing no interest in winning games. Silver addressed that in the moment last week when he slapped the Jazz and Pacers with six-figure fines, and he said that the league would look into changes to its lottery system because this is an issue that is getting the attention of everybody across the league. Well, the first step in that direction, that happened on Thursday when representatives from all 30 teams got on a Zoom call to start kicking around some ideas on how to curb tanking. Now, a lot of these ideas are stuff that's already been out there. There was talk of reducing or eliminating draft pick protections, freezing lottery positions at a date before the end of the season, maybe around March 1st, and banning teams from drafting in the top four for 2 years in a row. These are things that have been discussed, and from what I'm told, these are things that the league office could ultimately get behind when these changes are discussed in earnest. A couple of things I was told from people both on the call and those that were briefed on it. This was described as something of a venting session, a chance for all 30 teams to get their say on this particular issue. As far as the ideas, though, go, one executive told me that he could compare it to everyone throwing bleep against the wall. Everyone just putting stuff out there and seeing what ultimately might stick. Because the reality is, decisions like this are not decided on calls like this. They are decided on the competition committee, which is a group of a dozen or so people made up of executives, players, coaches, league officials. That's where the real work gets done. That's where any substantive changes to the lottery system are going to be made. Now, the competition committee will certainly be looking at the tape of this, hearing these ideas, but when they get together and start to dig into it, that's where the real work is going to get done. What this, though, was also described to me as was a warning, a message to some of the tanking teams that the league is still watching. I mean, tanking is continuing even after the fines to Utah and Indiana. We saw the Wizards sack Keyshawn George and Trey Johnson in the fourth quarter against Indiana. Now, it didn't matter because the Pacers are, quite frankly, better at tanking than Washington is. But this gathering and making it public was a not-so-subtle message to some of the tanking teams that are out there that this is still a front-burner issue for the NBA and that the league may step in with harsher punishments if they see teams continue to manipulate the standings. So it was certainly notable that all 30 teams are jumping on a call and throwing some ideas out there, but this process still has a long way to play out. What it was the league letting people know that these fines, they could continue. Harsher punishments, they could be out there. Adam Silver does not want to do this. He said this at All-Star Weekend. He thinks it's not sustainable to subjectively punish based on what the league sees. It could lead to toxic relationships between the league and its teams. But for now, with no changes in place, I think this was a shot across the bow to some of those teams to let them know that what happened with Utah and with Indiana could happen to them, and maybe the kind of punishments that are a little bit worse.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.